Welcome to Midnight Mindset. You made it here again at night? Maybe by accident, but maybe not. Let me ask you something. Have you ever apologized for existing? Do you feel guilty when you rest? Do you keep your phone on silent because every message makes your heart race? Because sometimes what you think is your personality is just your survival mode. And the habits you call just me might be unhealed trauma speaking through your behavior. Tonight, we're going to explore the subtle, quiet things we do that aren't quirks. They're trauma responses. You might recognize one. You might recognize all of them. You over-explain everything when something goes wrong. Do you feel the need to explain and explain again? I didn't mean it like that. Just to be clear, I wasn't trying to be rude. Sorry if that sounded weird. Over-explaining is often born from a place where you weren't believed, where your truth was questioned, where being misunderstood meant punishment, not conversation. So now, your brain thinks, if I don't say it perfectly, they'll leave. Or worse, they'll be angry. But here's the truth. If someone values you, they won't require a novel just to believe your intentions. You shut down when you feel unsafe, you're in a disagreement, and suddenly, your brain goes blank. Your mouth stops working. Your chest tightens. You're not being dramatic. You're freezing. This is called fawn or freeze response, a survival mechanism. Your body is saying, I don't feel safe here. If you grew up in a place where conflict turned dangerous, your nervous system now avoids all confrontation. Even if no one's yelling, even if you're not in danger, your body still reacts like it's bracing for emotional impact. You're not weak. You're just taught silence was the safest sound. You try to fix everyone. You're the helper, the fixer, the one who checks on everyone, but no one checks on you. You don't rest until everyone's okay. But here's the uncomfortable truth. That urge might be a trauma response. Maybe you learned that love had to be earned. If you weren't useful, you were disposable. That the only way to avoid chaos was to become the caretaker. Helping is beautiful.
Ow.
That's not kindness, it's survival. You can't handle silence. You send a message. They don't reply for hours. And suddenly, your thoughts spiral. Did I say something wrong? Are they mad at me? Maybe I'm too much. You fill the silence with self-blame. Because silence used to mean danger. Maybe growing up when things got quiet, they exploded later. Now your brain treats silence like a ticking bomb. You overthink, overanalyze, over-apologize. But remember, not everyone's delay is rejection. Not every pause is punishment. You struggle to accept compliments. Someone says, "You look great today." You reply, "Nah, I just got lucky." Someone compliments your work, you point out what you did wrong. Why? Because deep down, you don't believe you deserve goodness. Trauma rewires your self-perception. It teaches you to distrust praise. It tells you love must come with strings or conditions. So when someone offers you something pure, you flinch. But healing is learning to sit with kindness. Without explaining it away, you keep yourself busy to avoid feeling. You're always doing something. Cleaning, working, planning, scrolling. Rest feels uncomfortable. Why? Because stillness makes you feel, and if you've stored years of pain beneath the surface, stillness opens the floodgates. So you outrun your own silence. You hide inside productivity. You call it being a go-getter, but sometimes it's just emotional avoidance in disguise. You're not lazy if you rest. You're just finally listening to what's been waiting to be heard. Asterisk. You struggle with boundaries, asterisk. You say yes when you mean no. You offer help you don't have. You stay silent when something hurts you, because saying no feels dangerous. Maybe in your past, boundaries were punished or ignored, or twisted against you. So now pleasing others feels safer than protecting yourself. But boundaries aren't rejection. They're protection. They're how you say, I matter too. You attract chaos because it's familiar, you say. Why do I always attract toxic people? Or, why does drama follow me? Here's a hard truth. Your nervous system seeks what's familiar, not what's healthy. If you grew up with chaos, calm feels suspicious. Peace feels boring. Red flags look like home. You're not broken. You're just repeating what your Brain was trained to accept. But you can rewire that. You can teach your body that peace. It's not a trap. You struggle with trust, even in safe spaces. You finally meet someone kind. They show up. They don't lie. And yet, you don't believe it. You wait for the switch. The betrayal. The moment they prove they're just like the rest. This is called hypervigilance. Your past taught you that trust equals danger. So, now your brain scans for betrayal, before it even exists. But love requires risk. And not everyone is the one who hurt you. The body keeps the score. These aren't flaws. They're not your personality. They are wounds with voices. Trauma responses. Wearing masks, but now that you've seen them, you get to choose differently. Healing doesn't mean forgetting. It means responding from your present, not your past. And every time you pause, every time you breathe instead of react, you're proving to yourself, I am safe now. Asterisk, how many of these habits felt a little too familiar? Let us know in the comments. No judgment. Just a space to say, that's me too. This has been Midnight Mindset, where we give your silence voice. Sometimes the quietest parts of us are the ones carrying the heaviest weight. These responses, the people-pleasing, the silence, the constant doing, they weren't born from weakness. They were born from survival. But now you're not in survival mode anymore. You're in awareness. And awareness is the first step to healing. So be gentle with yourself. These patterns took years to form, and they'll take time to untangle. But the fact that you're here, listening, noticing, means you're already on your way.